So, sippers, welcome back to another car chat. And, breaking news that Kristi Noem was fired, or rather, I like to say, because words matter, she was placed in a different position.
Coming on the air because President Trump has just announced that Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem is out of a job. This follows reports that the president was frustrated by her recent testimony on Capitol Hill. Noem under fire from both parties over her job performance and her handling of the immigration crackdown, and that includes her response to the deadly shooting by federal agents of two American citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy. Just moments ago, the president saying he's naming Oklahoma Senator Markwayne Mullin to become the next Secretary of Homeland Security. Let's get straight to our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce. Mary, what do we know?
Well, Kira, the president just announcing this in a social media post that Markwayne Mullin is going to become the new Secretary of the Department of Homeland Security as of the end of this month. And the president, who, as we know, had grown increasingly frustrated with Secretary Noem this following several days of her testimony up on the Hill. The president posting the current secretary, Kristi Noem, who has served us well and has had numerous and spectacular results, especially on the border, will be moving to be special envoy for the Shield of the Americas, our new security initiative in the Western Hemisphere. It also comes, of course, as you note, that she received a lot of backlash after her response to the killings of two American citizens, Renee Good and Alex Preddy, in Minneapolis. She, of course, was very quick to come out and label them domestic terrorists. She falsely said that Preddy was brandishing a gun. It created quite a controversy for the administration. Then, of course, the president moved in Tom Homan, his border czar, to take over the situation in Minneapolis. But Kira, the big picture here, it is important to remember that this is now the first major firing that we have seen in the president's second term. To fire Kristi Noem, move her away from being the DHS secretary to this new post at the end of this month. Unlike in his first term, where there was quite a bit of turnover in the cabinet, she is now the first cabinet secretary to be let go by President Trump.
Let's bring in our Chief Justice correspondent, Pierre Thomas. Pierre, as we get this news now, let's just talk about how DHS changed under Kristi Noem's leadership. And it didn't take long for her to receive a lot of heat from critics once she did take that position.
Indeed, Kira. And there was a key moment this week at that Senate hearing. This over $200 million ad campaign came up, and Senator Kennedy, a Republican, was pressing her on why was the funding as high as it was. He expressed deep concern that it was too much money, and he asked the secretary about it, and she claimed that the president was engaged in this. Now, we just saw from our own reporting from Rachel Scott and others that the president is now claiming that that is not true. And again, this ad campaign stars Kristi Noem, and basically the messages to undocumented people, leave now or be deported. And again, $200 million, and you could see these ads during football games, during the NFL, college football playoffs, the NBA, all types of major ad buys for this particular campaign, and that appears to have played a key role. To your first question, the bottom line is under Kristi Noem, there were some positives for the administration in terms of the border being shut down, but the way that the internal campaign to remove people from this country was executed is apparently played a big role in this as well. As Mary said, Tom Homan taking over after the situation in Minneapolis spiraled out of control.
Hey, let's call a spade. Based on what happened in Minnesota, based upon these hearings that have been occurring for the last couple of days, and you can see that since Minnesota, Trump has had some disappointment in Kristi Noem, and then on top of that, with these hearings, whether or not she's talking to someone that's work-related relationship, or it's coming out before finding out the actual facts of the cases, which that happened with the Alex Preddy and Renee Nicole Good, which in fact I still will say that I still stand on it. They shouldn't have been there. But nevertheless, I don't think that it was just a good look for the Trump administration. I think that she soured a lot of people, a lot of views, and hey, so, you know, I was listening to somebody and they were saying it's kind of odd that he would, that Trump would do this right now versus towards the midterms. But hey, when you see a problem, hey, you execute. I think that she was becoming a problem, especially with everything that keeps tacking on instead of being a solution. She was becoming more of a headache. But like I said, her being moved into a different position is nothing different from earlier last year with the phone incidents with Pete Hegseth. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name right now, but you haven't heard from him. But we didn't see his face again until recent, when he was talking to the Iranian ambassador, right? So, I think her going into a different role is probably better. I think Markwayne is a better candidate, and we'll just have to see from there. Let's hear what Markwayne had to say.
Secretary? No, the president, I still got to communicate, so we'll talk about it moving forward. But I appreciate it, guys. Yeah, the president, I've already talked. Obviously, the statement went out, but we need to talk with the president, and we're going to get on the same page and do what we need to do.
Do you want to
changes
at
DHS?
When did you
make changes at DHS, Senator?
when did you find out, sir?
A little bit before you guys did.
Do you want the job? Any changes?
Senator, did you expect this?
Let me, guys, I'll talk to y'all more. Let me go.
Do you want the job, Senator?
But what was your first reaction to just the news that you were nominated for this position, just amidst everything that's happening?
Humbling, because I had to call my dad, and because it happened quick, right? I had to call my wife and call my dad both, and it's just pretty humbling when you start thinking about it. A little kid from Westville, Oklahoma, gets to serve in the president's cabinet. That's pretty neat.
And there you have it with Markwayne. Like I actually like him. I liked his stance when he had an argument a couple days ago with Bernie Sanders, when they was trying to get in the new Surgeon General. And so I think Markwayne has some grit. He has some old-fashioned sternness that you like, and I think that he's gonna deliver in his position. So overall, I think that for the majority, especially closing the borders, Kristi Noem did a hell of a job. And so I'm not gonna we can't take that away from her. But with going into these cities and going to these places, it could have been done 10 times better. The communication, rather, and her, and then on top of that, you could just see the writing on the wall earlier this week when they was talking about whether or not she's having a in-office relationship, and the fact that funds were spent on a campaign with her in the videos. And I think that rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. That rubbed Trump the wrong way, because that is not the objective. And I think it was just too much being piled on, and you're making the cabinet look bad. Especially when we're trying to go into a different direction, for as the economy and things of that nature. So y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Sipper or sippets, whatever in your cup. Remember, pour your own problems, because I can't do it for you. It's your boy Mercy. I'm out.